Hello, my name is Brianna, and I am going to go over on some of the key Google applications that you will use in School Town of Highland. First off, I would like to get started with Google Classroom. Usually on your iPad, you will see this app on your self-service. I'm just going to start off by doing a Google search since I am on a MacBook. We're going to go to Google Classroom, and you should be able to sign in. So on Google Classroom, some of the main things that you'll be able to see is your stream. This is just a timeline of when announcements are made or when assignments can be posted. Teachers have the abilities of updating your stream. So if they have any relevant information that they want to share with you at that moment, that will be the first thing that you will see. Another thing you may notice is on the left-hand side, we have Google Meet. So on days where we are going on e-learning or any time that the class is meeting online, to join your class, you just click join on that button and it will take you straight into your virtual classroom for that day. As you are on Google Classroom, it's very important to see your classwork. Most of the time, what teachers will do that there will be a due date posted along with that assignment. And one cool thing about Google Classroom is that they have a calendar feature. So it is summer. So you would not be able to see all of the logistics, but let's see if I can go back. So going back to when we were in school, you could see some assignments when they were due and the time that they were due. So if you want to get a glimpse of a week of schoolwork for all your classes, or if you want a specific class, you can do that as well. And that's again by just going on the left-hand side. So if you click on the assignment, it will take you straight to the assignment and any details, or if the grade is already in, you'll be able to see that updated grade. So going back to Google Classroom, it's extremely helpful in keeping track of when assignments are due, what is the description, how do your teacher want you to submit assignments. You should see the Google Meet, which we just went over. So if you forget to find it on a stream, it's always on the top right-hand corner. And there's also the calendar for you. Another key feature on our icons on the top right-hand corner, we see the class drive folder. So when that is opened, this is a Google Drive where all of the documents, all the notes, all of that would be here on a Google Drive. I highly recommend creating a notes folder or any of the assignments that you have done so that when it's time for exams or finals, it will be easy navigation on your Google Drive to be able to retrieve that. So I'm just going to show you how to create a folder. So for our example, let's say I want to create a notes folder. So I'm going to click this new button and click new folder. And I am going to call it HHS, let's wait that first, notes, and click create. So once we click create, it creates a folder. So this folder is not a document, it's just to store documents in. And let's say I have notes that I want to take. Then you can click Google Drive, or if it's Google Sheets, slides, forms, whatever format is appropriate to your situation. Open up Google Drive, and I'm going to be notes, notes from today's class. And then down at the bottom, I could put my notes from the teacher, and you can continue so on and so forth. And then going back to Google Drive, actually, let's do this one important thing as well, because a lot of times we forget to do this. On the untitled document, let's make sure we retitle this. So I'm going to name this Notes Demo. That way, um, I can also make sure when I go on my Google Drive Let's do a little refresh. Now the document is updated, so it has the appropriate name. So when it's time for navigation, it's easier to find. Another little hint, if we go to this photo of a folder with a arrow, that is a move, meaning we can move this document to a different folder. Let's say I want to move it to my prompts folder. We move it there, and then let's go back to Google Drive. So my prompts folder exists in my Principles of Computer Science. And now the Google Doc can now be found in this new folder. So that is how you move it from back and forth. But let's say I want to move it back. Click the three dots, organize, move, and I want to move it back to my notes because that's where it belongs. All right. So that is pretty much it for my demo on Google Drive. Remember, Google Drive is just where you can access all of your Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, any forms. All of that is available on Google Drive, but it's also helpful to organize your drive. That way, if you want to go back and do a quick review, it is quickly organized and easy to follow. So on your homepage, this is where you'll be able to find some of your most used folders, some of your documents. So I go on my drive. These are my main folders. And if I were to open up one folder, this is what the Google Classroom folder looks like. It then shows all of your classes that you're in. And then you can open up that folder, and that's where I put my notes from the Google Classroom. So when you go to the People tab on Google Classroom, you'll be able to see your teachers and all of your classmates. So if you are working on a group project or even have a question for your teacher, you can click this little email icon and it will prompt and open up your Gmail, and you'll be able to send an email directly to your teacher without having to do any searches on the Gmail itself. Let's go ahead and learn how to use our Gmail. Um, our Gmail is the way that we can get in contact with you, um, as in staff, teachers. It's very important to be updated on your Gmail because a lot of times we are trying to contact you about an assignment or an important update that is going on in the classroom or any brief information that's needed by the teacher. Um, I would always suggest going through and deleting any emails that you don't need. Like sometimes I don't need the times, Canva, team quizzes. All I have to do is click delete, and that helps with my storage as well. To create a new email or to send an email, you'll click compose, and then you'll find whoever you want to email. Um, let's say I want to email Dr. Zach, right? Um, so I can look up Dr. Zach, and his email will pop up along with this picture as well, so you know exactly who you're emailing. And then you put your subject line. So, what is the main idea of what your email is about? Like, if you were to sum it up in a couple of words, what would it be? That is what you are to put in a subject. Now, the actual text that you want to send to to whoever you're emailing, that's what you'll put in the body of your email. Um, this would You would typically want to start out with the intro, like good morning or hello, just to be professional. And then just type in whatever questions or if you have any information to share, that's what you'll type after that. And then you'll click send. If you need to attach any files, you'll click attach down here. That will open up your your files on an iPad, but I'm assuming majority of the time you'll want to go to your drive where you'll be able to upload any notes. So let's say the notes that I had taken earlier, I want to add that, and that's how you are able to share your Google Docs. Another way you could do it is going back to our notes. You can click share on the top, and then you can type in your email. Um, and again, their name and picture pops up. You can make them an editor, viewer, whatever you want to do. Um, but those are some of the main features of our Gmail. If you didn't send out any emails, that will be in the drafts. Um, and again, that Google Meet is on the left-hand side, but you usually wouldn't access that through your Gmail. I would say it's best to just stay through your Google Classroom. In regards to all of the Google features that you'll be using um, while being in the School Town of Highland, this is pretty much it. You have your Google Classroom, you have your Google Drive, your Google Meets, in your Gmail. There's the docs, sheets, slides, calendar. All of that is accessible to you through this little um, the menu button on Google. But thank you for tuning in today, and if you have any questions, feel free to email us.